Hey everyone, and welcome to an updated planner journal setup for the first quarter of 2022. So in case you missed it, I did post my planner journal setup plan for 2022, and needless to say, things have changed a lot since then. In terms of life, I defended my thesis, I'm pretty much on my way out of my master's program, and I'm moving soon, so there's been a lot of stress, a lot of fun times, a lot of reasons to celebrate, and I've done so by getting some new stationery. So I wanted to update you guys on the planners and journals that I'm currently using and sort of compare them to what I started out the year with and kind of explain my thought process with that. So first, I'm going to put all of these aside and bring into the frame some notebooks that I completely stopped using. So unfortunately, I completely stopped using both of these notebooks. If you don't remember, this is my work/school journal, but I found that I didn't really have to do that anymore after a certain point, especially since I defended my thesis and that's all over with. So I haven't been using this much, and I hope to repurpose it for some future journaling endeavors. Another notebook that I have completely stopped using, despite saying that I was going to use it at the beginning of the year, is my Archer & Olive Traveler's Notebook sized journal. This is the famous Archer & Olive 160 GSM paper, and as much as I had fun filling out bullet journal spreads, as you can see, I just really didn't use this at all, if ever. I tried to make it into a lighthearted little like journal whenever sort of thing, but I learned that I really don't like thick journal paper. So knowing that, I kind of gravitated away from using this. If I have to-do lists, I have other places to write those to-do lists now, and it's just not in this notebook. And I think it's okay for the most part. I mean, I'm still going to keep it. There aren't too many pages left, I would say, so if I ever need it for anything, I will definitely reach back for this, but for now, I have just completely retired my Archer & Olive notebook. So the two notebooks that have without a doubt stayed the same are my planner and my reading journal. So in case you don't remember, this is my planner for work, school, life, all that good stuff. It is a minute manager schedule indicator, as it says. So I have to blur out a lot from this because it has a lot of personal information, but essentially this is just my daily driver. It goes with me everywhere and helps me keep track of all of the appointments, meetings, and other things that I have going on. So I will write down all of the important events each day in red in the very left hand of the page, and then I have various to-dos that are pertinent to each day on the dotted parts of the page. I really like the system because it allows me to in advance go to, say, 5 weeks from now. This is much more than 5 weeks from now, but it allows me to go to 5 weeks from now and remember that I have, say, a dentist appointment on Tuesday, October 4th. So I have really been enjoying this system, especially for all of the things that I have going on and all of the appointments I have to keep track of. I use this side of the page for tracking all of my homeworks and other notes that I have, and then every single Monday I sent out an email to my students giving them reminders for homework and whatnot, so I would always use a little sticky note from the Travelers Company to remember all of the things that I wanted to tell them. But yeah, I have really been enjoying this notebook. It's just so simple, but it has so much versatility to it. I still love using my Stalogy 4-in-1 pen with this notebook. It never fails to keep me organized and keep me on track. So I think I'll keep using this as I move through the rest of the year. But yeah, I really love this notebook, and I'm really glad that I got it for my planner for this year. And of course, the other notebook that I've continued using is my standard Traveler's notebook in brown as my reading journal. This hasn't changed much since the planner video, but essentially I have the same setup as always, where there's a craft folder, a graph insert with my reading log, which I have now partially filled out, which is pretty cool. And then I have a monthly log, which has been pretty fun to do. So I don't quite remember what video I explain this in, but I started tracking how much of a book I read per day in percentages, and every single day I just filled out how much of the way I got through a certain book. And then if I didn't read that day, I tried to be really nice to myself and just put stickers there, not to make me feel bad about, you know, the blank space because I didn't read. I just wanted to put stickers down and make it cute and not, you know, blank and empty space. But I've really been liking this for my reading tracker. It just looks so fun, and it's just a really fun way of tracking and seeing all of the books that I read. As I'm filming this, I have read 50 books this year, and I don't really know any other way that I would have been able to write down and record all of these titles. So I've really been enjoying this. One small thing that I did add in my last video is I put in a little pocket at the very front of my traveler's notebook to keep some extra stickers. But yeah, the reading journal has stayed my reading journal. I love this thing. It's pretty much half the fun of reading, in my humble opinion, being able to fill out my reading journal. So I love this guy so much. You can see all the wear and tear. I think he just looks great, and I'm so happy with him. Now, because I was so happy with my reading journal, I acquired a lot more journals for various things. So I'm gonna go through the new additions to my planner setup now. So the first thing I got, if you haven't seen the video already, is a Passport Traveler's Notebook. I've been wanting to try the passport size for a really long time, but I just didn't have a good reason to. And then my partner ended up getting the Traveler's Notebook passport size for me as a sort of congratulations for getting through some tough days, and I've been really loving it so far. So I got it in the black. I put the orange band from the regular size tan in brown on it, and I just love how it looks. This actually goes in my bag every single day. If I go to work, if I'm just going to run errands, this is in my bag always. So the setup hasn't changed too much since that setup video, but just an overview. I still have my craft folder at the front here with some stickers on the inside. This is my content creator journal using a grid insert, and I've updated it to have some separate to-do pages. Super fun. And then a new addition is this cotton case that keeps a bunch of my cards in it and IDs and whatnot, and then in the back I have some change. Within the cotton case, I have my educator journal, which is a lined insert, and this is where I just write notes on papers I've read or other things that I've learned in my journey in becoming an educator. So yeah, I've been really loving this. Again, I take it everywhere with me because I do go to school, and then I teach, and then I have classes, and I have stuff to reflect on and put in here, and I might have ideas for YouTube content, for example, and want to write that down. So it's always handy to have this on my person, and I really love it. I think it's super portable and super great. So something that I recently added to my collection is this B6 Slim MD notebook in blank. If you haven't seen my haul video, I did mean to get this in a lined version, but I accidentally picked up the blank version. But never fear, I got crafty, literally, and made some pencil boards to go with this. So the very first thing I did before all of that is I made my own cover for this, because it's kind of ridiculous that a paper cover for the MD notebooks is $10. So I just used some cardstock that I had lying around and my favorite washi tape to make a very simple paper cover for my notebook. And then this has sort of been just a happy memories log. So I went ahead and recorded some of this journal with me in one of my videos, but essentially I just went and did a little haul for myself to treat myself after a long week, and so I recorded it in this journal, and it was a lot of fun. I included a little cutout from one of the baggies that I walked home with. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna use this as like a memory keeping thing to journal in every now and then. I am not very good at keeping up with journals regularly, especially if I'm writing long form like this. So having this sort of every now and then journal, I think, is going to be a lot better for me than some sort of daily journaling system. But I've really been enjoying it so far. As I said in that video, I've had an MD notebook before, and I really like the texture of the page. These pages are lightweight. They're semi see-through but not too see-through, and they have a little bit of texture to them, so when you write with a ballpoint pen or with a gel pen, there is a little bit of feedback, and I really enjoy the feedback from these MD notebooks. So very happy to have one in my arsenal again, and I hope to fill it up with more memories soon. And the very last and probably most exciting addition to my collection is a standard size traveler's notebook in blue. So I will be completely honest with you guys, I actually wanted the blue from the start, but the brown one was a gift from my partner, so couldn't complain. I still love the brown. The brown is probably my favorite, but I've always been yearning after the blue. And if you didn't see my other video, I set up a couple of traveler's notebook inserts but didn't have a home for them. They wouldn't fit in my reading journal, and they didn't really go with my reading journal in terms of content, so I treated myself and got myself a blue standard size to house those inserts. I believe in the setup video I hadn't quite decided on what little charm I was going to put on, but I put on this little ghastly charm. I will link the creator for this ghastly charm down below, but I think it's so cute and it goes really well with the blue and the brown band. So let me just really quickly show you guys what's in here. When you open this up, there's a little pocket. It is stuck on, and it has some more of those stickers that I had in my other traveler's notebook. And then in the front here, I have a clear folder instead of a craft folder, and this just has some small sticker sheets in it. And in the back, I have some bigger sticker sheets. And I love this clear folder because it actually has two pockets on the front and the back of the back flap, which is really cool. I just feel like it's a little more flimsy, so if you're worried about your papers or stickers bending, perhaps the craft folder is the way to go. But the clear folder here, it actually goes around my Baumkuchen and Travelers Company GU monthly insert. If you haven't seen my videos for this, I will also link that down below. But essentially, this is my life log where I take each day and write down one fun thing that's happened. As you can see, I still have to update this one, but I'm now in my second month of doing this and I'm still having so much fun. I love using all of these little stickers that have kind of just been collecting dust in my collection. Now they have a purpose, and I think it looks so cute with this scrapbooky, fun, whimsical theme to it, I guess. Seeing this filled out is just so fun and gratifying. What I'm thinking of doing next month is I have a bunch of these blank dot grid pages at the back of this insert that I haven't quite figured out what to do with yet, but I think I'm gonna start writing like one line of gratitude every single day, or a couple lines of gratitude since these lines are kind of short, just to use the rest of this notebook and make it feel like it's being filled up with a lot of stuff. The next thing in this notebook is my life journal. As you guys probably know, this has been repurposed a bunch of times. It was a journal, like a writing journal, and then became like a daily journal, and then I tried to do some memory keeping with it and doodling with it, and then I tried to turn it into a bullet journal, and that kind of all fell apart. So what I started doing actually was doing weekly spreads where I just highlight the week at the top with a little monthly calendar, and then I write a bunch of to-dos that I have to do during the week to do at any time on the page. And I've been really forgiving to myself. As you can see, there's no decoration on these pages for the most part. But I really like how it looks. The function is excellent. I have, as you can see, been keeping up with a lot of things that I've been wanting to do, and it's super easy to set up these spreads and just have them ready for each week to come. And the very last thing in this traveler's notebook, because I kind of wanted something behind this notebook to make it easier to write, is one of the B-sides and rarities inserts from the Traveler's Notebook Company. This is the letter pad, so it comes with a bunch of sheets that you can actually rip and tear out. One side is lined and then one side has graph on it, and I often use this actually to write lists in, like grocery lists or daily to-do lists. Again, I put this in here originally just to have something more solid to write on when I was writing in my life journal, but I ended up actually using this for various things like lists. And at the very back here, I have another one of these pouch keeper thingies. I don't know. I haven't put anything in here yet. I realized after sticking this down that the little band kind of becomes an issue. So if I do want to put anything in here, it can't like cross over the band or it will definitely warp a little. But now I know not to put a sticker pouch thing on the back of a traveler's notebook. But yeah, that is my last daily journal planner thing, and that is all of the journals and planners that I use currently. So yeah, those are all the planners and journals that I'm using right now. I honestly see myself using this for a really long time. I love the system currently, and I think that all of my needs are met. And I just love having a stack of traveler's notebooks on my desk every single day. I love my little collection so much. I'm so happy and grateful that I was able to grow my traveler's notebook collection and share it with you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have nothing else to say, so I'm going to wish you a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.